Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're on episode 6 already. Can you believe it, guys? Unreal. Alright, so I have a new riff for you guys today. I was messing around with this idea earlier, and it really just started to sound like way bigger than just a throwaway jam. I really liked the way it was turning out, so I definitely knew I needed to use it for this video. You know that feeling you get when you're just jamming out? You just sit down with a guitar, you don't really know what you're going to do, and you're kind of just jamming out, and something just clicks, and you know that's the one. So I'm super stoked about this one. We'll see how far we get. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is record the scratch guitar. This is just the blueprint, kind of get an idea of what I want to do. So I definitely want this track to feel like stupidly heavy 2000s MySpace deathcore vibe. Let's try and get one more take on that. We'll get it a little bit tighter. Nice. All right. I think that's a good one. Let's get some drums going. For the drums on this one, I'm definitely thinking relentless, Die Hard is Murder style. Just straight to the point, super heavy. This is where it actually starts sounding like a deathcore track. Now when I said relentless, I mean we're going full chaos mode on this one. Blast beats, everything. That's the kind of drums that makes you do the stank face. Alright, so we got scratch guitars and drums for that part. Let's keep moving on. Alright, I felt really good about a couple of those, so I think I can find something we can use. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The more this comes together, this is definitely sounding like a good mixture of modern deathcore and that old school 2000s MySpace deathcore that we all know and love. Alright, so that intro is 100% locked down. Super happy with how it sounds. So now we need to write a verse. We need something that feels like it's going to really fit in with the song. The intro is already sounding like pure deathcore chaos. We need something that has a bit more movement than the intro, a little more technical. So that's what we're going to get into. Alright, so I think that's the idea I'm going to go with. It still keeps that low, chuggy deathcore energy, sneaking in a few little hints of melody. Alright, let's get the scratch takedown. I think I actually nailed that one first take. Alright, let's see what I can come up with for the drums here. When I track the guitars for this one, I'm really going to try and lock in with the drums because of how fast it is. But I really need to focus on tight playing for this one. is where I start getting really, really excited. I got a little bit more to go on this. I always get super anxious to hear what the end result's going to sound like. So we actually haven't given it a listen yet. So let's take it from the top and hear what it sounds like. Damn, dude, that's so nasty. I just want this video to come out right now so you all can see it. So we're getting to the fun part now, guys. Verse is locked in, drums are slamming, but right now it kind of just ends there. Part that makes you want to punch someone in the face. So I'm going to break it down a little bit. So the right guitar is going to keep playing the verse, and the left one's going to be playing a breakdown on top of that. I didn't want to overcomplicate this one because I really wanted the verse to still stand out, and I just wanted that big heavy impact. That was supposed to be the scratch take, but I think that turned out pretty good, so we're going to use it as the real one. Now for bass, I actually programmed it this time because I actually don't own a bass. I kind of like the way MIDI bass sounds, and it's just really convenient for what I'm doing anyways. So on this bass track, I'm using Jin Bass 2 by Submission Audio. If you haven't already, check them out. All their bass plugins are amazing for anything metal related, especially deathcore music. So I'm going to toggle between the solo bass, and then I'll mix the guitars and then the drums in after it. Oh my god, so heavy. So incredibly heavy. Alright, well, I'm really happy with how this turned out today. I've really been in the, like, Thy Art is Murder, Fit for an Autopsy, deathcore vibe lately. If you watched my last video, go ahead and check that one out. Another super heavy riff as well. Alright, so today, we got a lot done. We got the guitars done, we got some really sick drums on this, and I managed to program bass, which takes me a long time, which is why I didn't include it in the video, because it just takes way too long. So before we end off today's episode, as usual, we'll take a full listen to what we did. So if you stayed here this long in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, this is what I was talking about earlier. I get so anxious to hear the end of the song because that's what I want to hear right at the end. All right, so that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.